frost giants, shadow wraiths, and malicious sorcerers. Red Sonja may have too much to handle when Kulan Gath sends all his dark forces after her. We're going to talk about that and much more in our review of Red Sonja Volume 7, Number 8 from Dynamite Comics. See you in 3. And welcome back to our review of Red Sonja Volume 7, Number 8 from Dynamite Comics. And in this issue, Red Sonja and Grace frantically flee from Kulan Gath's dark forces as they try to destroy the last bit of sorcery resistance in the town of Vestfold. But before we get started, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notification. Your attention is greatly appreciated. Make sure to stay to the end for the final rating and score. Now let's get into the credits of this issue. The story is written by Torun Grønbæk, art by Walter Giovanni, colors by Omi Ramalante Jr., letters by Jeff Eckelberry, and the main cover A, is drawn by Lucio Perillo. So let's recap what happened in the last issue, and we'll get into this issue. The last time, Red Sonja managed to save a woman, another redhead by the name of Grace, who was trying to rescue her sister from being used as a sacrifice to appease the dark spirits that have been unleashed by the portal that Red Sonja closed when she saved the black-eyed god. And unfortunately, when she helped the black-eyed guy and closed the portal, but when you close one door, you open another, and she let several forces out, including Kulan Gath and lots of dark spirits and entities that are going to plague the land. So you take the good with the bad. When Red Sonja saves Grace's little sister, they decide to help each other find some spiritual and mystical beings and practitioners of magic that can help them defeat Kulan Gath as he gathers his strength and gathers his army to take over the land. So that's what happened in the last issue. In this issue, Red Sonja and Grace and their little sister head to Grace's aunt's house, who is a mystic of sorts, and she's also a diviner of the future. And when they race towards the house, they are accosted on all sides by wolves, dark forest creatures, shadowy wraiths, and all kinds of deadly beings. Meanwhile, one of the three sorcerers that is assigned to protect the land, a gentleman by the name of Dorian Runebinder, tries to warn everyone he can that Kulan Gath is coming, that the forces of darkness are gathering. Unfortunately, nobody will believe him. And ultimately, Kulan Gath comes for Dorian in person, and he rips out his heart, both to take his strength and also to divine what's happened in the land since Kulan Gath was banished to Limbo. While all this is happening, we also see that Kulan Gath sends word to an ally, if you will, a frost giant of immense size and power, and he says, well, if my shadow race can't get Red Sonja, you go after her as well. And the issue concludes with a cliffhanger where Red Sonja is confronted by a massive frost giant and all the creatures that follow it. So that's what happened in this issue. And just as a side note, if the character of Grace looks familiar, that's because Walter Giovanni, who is the artist on this issue, modeled the character of Grace after Gracie the Cosplay Lass, who's one of the most famous cosplayers in the world for cosplaying as Red Sonja. So even though Grace is now in the comic officially, which is a nice homage, she's in it as a character named after herself rather than as Red Sonja. So that's kind of a nice tip of the hat to cosplayers who work really hard to do a good job for the readers and collectors. So what do we like about Red Sonja Volume 7, Number 8? Good character work. The pacing is good. The dialogue is pretty okay. It's pretty okay. And you definitely get a sense that Red Sonja is being accosted on all sides by overwhelming forces that Kulan Gath has either reached out to awaken them to join in his assault on the lands, or that just new enemies are starting to sprout up all over the place. You definitely get the sense that Red Sonja is being overwhelmed and she has little capability to stop what's happening. So from a stakes and an urgency perspective, it's all right there. What didn't we like about the issue? There's a lot of clunkiness to how the plot flows, especially in the first third half of the comic. You're getting bits and pieces of conversation, references to characters who are brand new that you don't know who they are, what they're about. And so you're trying to piece it all together, but it doesn't flow very well. Characters aren't introduced very well, and the scenes don't transition very well. So it's very clunky through the first third through to the first half of the comic. It just doesn't read very well, which is unfortunate. So the plot elements are there, but the execution is where the story is lacking. So a quick word about the art. What do we think? Walter Giamatti does a bang-up job. Obviously, we've already mentioned his homage to Grace, who is a real-life cosplayer. So that's a nice tip of the hat to somebody who worked really hard to kind of embody, in reality, the Red Sonja universe. The action looks good. The characters look good. There is a scene where Red Sonja is attacked by these shadow rays, and the creature designs, some of which are new to this particular series, look excellent. So overall, art-wise, this is a solid issue. It's not fantastic, but it's solid. Therefore, what do we think about this issue overall? What are our final thoughts on Red Sonja Volume 7, Number 8? Good action, good pacing, and good plot points or plot developments that come out of this issue. Unfortunately, the smoothness of the plot, the scene transitions, and the character introductions, several of which are new, is very clunky and disjointed. So it's not a smooth read. It looks good. The pieces are there, but it's not put together very well. And so that's kind of a downer. Therefore, we're going to give Red Sonja Volume 7, Number 8 a 6.5 out of 10. So if you like this review and you want to see some more, stay tuned through the intro for more.